Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Jack Hempstead.
And me, Liam Underwood. Welcome back. Or, if you're a new listener, just welcome. In this episode, you've joined us at a good time, or you've returned at a good time, because we're going to be talking about Train to Busan. But not right now. No, we're talking about catching up with Jack and Liam. What you done, Jack?
This Liam?
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm tired, Liam.
Should we circle back to you? Would you like that?
No, it's cool. I'll do it. No. I'll do it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I've got it.
I was
I'm
worried,
sleeping.
Jack. I was worried. You seemed a bit out of it.
I went away for a weekend, Liam.
Oh, anywhere glamorous, exciting?
No. Hemel Hempstead.
I went to Hemel Hempstead.
I know you did.
Ooh. We was neighbours.
We were, briefly. I went with my youth group because they had their mini-camp weekend where we go and spend 2 and a bit days with them in halls and us trying to run activities for them.
We spoke about this on the podcast before, right?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Back then, did I say it sounded shit?
I mean, you think anything that you don't do is shit, so probably.
I stand by that assessment.
That's fine. Who do you think it's shit for, though?
Everyone involved.
Right, but the thing is, Liam, the kids
Yeah.
choose to go on it.
That's their first mistake.
Okay, so but what I'm saying, Liam, is it can't be that shit if they go on it.
I mean, it's you, like, running activities for children. I can't imagine that being a winning combination.
Why? I'm not even sure what that insult was meant to mean.
Because I know you, Jack.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Okay, I'm right. Let's just imagine I'm a little baby child, yeah? Little baby boy.
Yeah, paint me the picture of what you think this was.
Okay, I'm a little baby boy, and I'm.
I mean, they're firstly they're like 13 to 16, so.
No, I'm 12 in this scenario.
Well, you're not on there then.
Yep.
Cool. Hey, Mrs. Underwood, can you come and pick up your kid? He's snuck on the van again.
Again, I'm just so eager to go to minicamp with all my friends.
He just loves socialising with everyone so much.
I do. So, okay, I'm 13.
Yeah.
That's going to make it so much harder, though, because when I was 13...
What, a year difference?
Yeah, alright. This is the difference. 12-year-old Liam. Oh, gee whiz, I'm really excited to go to minicamp. 13-year-old Liam. Oh, fucking minicamp. I just want to listen to Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park. Oh.
Fair enough. Go on. So paint me this picture. 13-year-old depressed Liam.
No, let's imagine he's still happy with life, right?
Alright, okay. It's a fantasy. You can be whatever you want.
Exactly. It's role-playing. 13-year-old Liam, in this scenario, he's a cool guy. People like him.
Fair enough.
He's gone along. He's gone sup to all his friends, and they've responded appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what the lingo of the kids is these days.
I don't think they're saying sup that much anymore.
You know. I've sat down on I'm assuming, a coach.
Minibus.
A minibus. Right. Here's where disaster first strikes. Little Liam needs a wee. What does he do?
What, you've immediately sat on the minibus?
It's just left the
It's literally just
car
left.
park.
Well, I will tell you how our staff would deal with that. I wasn't on the minibus on the way down, but I would imagine, knowing our staff who were on the minibus, that the response to I need a wee after we've just left would be hold it in.
Right. Already I would be a bit fuming that I was spoken to in such a way.
Yep, that's fair.
So I go back to my friends, and we'd probably take the piss out of the staff a bit, and we're like, I can't believe what...
Yeah, they would. Yeah, you're right. They would, Liam, because you're the kid that got on the minibus and needed a wee straight away. They would take the mick out of you.
No. So we get there. Do I have
Yeah.
to set up a tent or any bullshit like that?
Nope, not on minicamp.
So it's all done for me?
You're not in tents.
What am I in?
It's a big hall. So,
whoa.
there's a big hall at the back.
This changes everything.
There's a big hall at the back, Liam.
Yeah.
That's like the kids' hall. We usually stay in the front. We only go back there if they're being like too loud, or one of the other kids comes in and goes, "They've stolen all my shit." Then we'll go in the back and be like, "Stop doing whatever you're doing.
Give him his shit back."
Yeah, stop stealing. So Liam, let's picture it. The staff have said, "All right, we've done the last activity. You guys can all go in the big hall."
What's
at
the
the back."
activities?
Oh, it was an incredible one, Liam.
Go on.
It was great. You loved it.
But what was it? What did I actually have to do?
all right. So the first activity we did when we got down there was on the Friday night.
Yeah.
3 of us went and put out these sheets of 6 questions scattered throughout the grounds of this place, so including outside.
Yeah.
Then all the kids got given a symbol and a series of numbers on underneath that. So Liam, you would have, let's say, you'd have got an apple on yours, yeah?
Yeah.
And underneath that, there's a bunch of numbers like 1, 5, 4, whatever.
Yeah, I understand how numbers work.
Yep, just clarifying. And then when you go and answer the questions all have a symbol on them as well. So one of them had an apple, one had a car, and one had something else. I can't remember. Yeah. And then what we told them, that was all they got told. There are questions around, you've got that sheet, have fun. Okay. To win the game, they had to come back and give me or the two Dans just three words. There were 3 words they had to get, and that's all we told them.
Right.
And that was the first activity.
So already I'm hating this.
Go on, why?
Because it's the weekend. I want to chill out.
Yeah, and we do that.
I don't want to be running around getting 3 words for no reason.
I mean,
whatsoever.
You're also basically 30.
Not in this scenario.
Jump back to young, happy 13-year-old Liam.
Yeah, he's going, oh boy, who brought a PlayStation? Did anyone bring a PlayStation? No? Oh, this is going to be a long weekend, isn't it?
I don't think you're the kind of... Oh no, to be fair, we've got a kid who is like that.
Does he enjoy it?
Yeah, he loves it.
Bullshit.
No, I swear to you, honestly...
Honestly, it sounds not like how I want to spend a weekend.
That's fine.
And that's a 13-year-old Liam, right? Now as me, Liam, it sounds even worse, Jack, because I'd have to actually sort out these activities.
No,
and make sure
that's the thing, Liam. We do 2 activities a day. 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. One of the activities we do on Saturday, Liam, is movie night. Do you know what that is? That's we put on a goddamn movie on a projector.
What movie did you put on?
Star Wars 7.
They've all seen it.
Yeah, and a bunch of them hated it. You know who didn't hate it? Me. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
We had some of the staff. One of them at the end went, that was really boring. I didn't understand it. And I went, you know what, mate? You can shut the fuck up. That was a great film.
Right, so this is another reason why I'd hate it. Because I'd have, counsellors who are just selfish and only
We're
care
not
about pleasing
counsellors.
themselves.
We're staff.
Whatever you are, staff. Who are just like, oh, as long as I'm having a good time, fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
Okay, well, let's skip past all that stuff, Liam.
Yep.
And I'll tell you the actual stuff that I did this weekend that I enjoyed.
Okay.
Which was good stuff.
Okay. Which was watching Star Wars Episode 7.
Hell no. It was when the kids had all gone to bed at midnight. That's when the staff bust out all the board games and play until 4 a.m. every night.
Okay.
So we played Cards Against Humanity. A bunch of the staff were horrified at how disgusting I am.
Are you not bored of that game yet? Or is it still if you play it with new people, it's not so bad?
Yeah, exactly. I'm bored of playing it with the people that I've played it with loads.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting to play with someone that you haven't played with before to see where they're, what humour they find funny sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
I find it interesting when you're playing cards just to be... You're like, usually all my friends would laugh at this horrifyingly offensive joke I've just played.
Yeah.
And then you get someone being like, wow, that's really dark. And you're like, I see. That's where your line is.
Yeah.
But then have you played as well? There's a game called Quiplash and Drawful. Have you seen them?
I've heard of them. I don't think I've played them.
So you set it up on your computer.
Yeah.
And it creates a server on their website.
Okay.
And then you all on your mobile phones connect to it.
Yeah, I've seen people play it on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
It turns out they're really, really fun. We played a lot of those games.
Okay.
So they're worth... next time I come down, Liam,
yeah.
I might get them on my laptop and bring it down and we can try it. Because they're legitimately fun games.
Sounds like a plan. Is there anything else that you enjoyed?
No.
Okay.
What did you do this weekend, Liam? / week?
Well, I had
2 weeks.
I had the last week off work, so that was delightful.
What did you get up to?
I got up to a lot of stuff, but I can't talk about most of it yet. So keep listening.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Well, give it a few minutes, listeners, and we'll get there. Maybe longer than that, but we'll get there. I went to a castle.
What castle?
Arundel Castle.
Where is that, Liam?
It's in Arundel.
Where is Arundel?
It's close-ish to where I am.
Oh, okay.
But it was a maybe 20-25 minute drive away.
Oh, that's right. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I sent you a message saying next time you're down, we'll take you there because it's the sort of thing that I think you would absolutely love.
Yeah, I like going to castles.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't seem like your kind of thing.
No, I like castles.
Fair enough.
I think they're cool. The thing is, there was people around who obviously worked there or volunteered there or whatever, and they seemed really friendly and really knowledgeable. But I didn't know what the right questions to ask were, so I didn't really speak to many of them. But I kind of wish I had.
Yeah, I mean, surely you can just ask them anything about the castle.
Yeah, okay, but there was a bit where we went in a little church that was on the castle grounds, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was a door in the floor with one of those metal rings.
Yeah, a hatch.
Yeah, and I was really curious what was under there, but then I just didn't feel like it was appropriate to ask.
What?
I don't know, I was nervous because you had to be quiet because you're in a church and Jesus was looking at me And I just felt like maybe I shouldn't ask these questions.
What are you talking? I thought it'd be something. I was like, oh, what question would Liam come up with? I thought it was going to be some sort of disgusting. How many orgies were in this castle, or some weirdness? But no, it's just what's that door? You could have asked that.
I didn't feel like I could. Not under the judgmental eyes of religion.
But then you could have asked when you left. You could have gone, oh, it's just in the church. Saw that hatch. What's that about?
No, because the person to ask was in the church itself.
Yeah, but I'm sure you could have asked anyone.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Kat took a lot of pictures of flowers. It was a fucking nightmare. I spent like an hour just watching her take pictures of flowers.
I mean, that doesn't sound particularly fun.
No. So that's why I want to bring you along, because me and you can run off and like sword fight and shit while she does that.
Ask all the questions about the hidden hatches.
Well, you can buy like plastic swords.
That sounds ideal.
And a shield and a helmet that didn't fit my head.
Oh, my head's a lot bigger than yours.
Yeah, but you know, shields and swords.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
Cool. But yeah, I found it really interesting going around the castle and being like, wow, like however many 100 years ago, like there was a bit where there was a little hole and people used to poo down it, and it would like build up outside the castle. And I was like, can you imagine, like several hundred years ago, someone would have been pooing down that?
Yeah.
It just baffles me.
Fair enough. I mean, that's understandable. How long did you stay there for?
We were there for about 3 hours.
Oh, that's right. That's pretty good.
Yeah, like went around the keep. We saw the bedrooms and stuff. That wasn't that great, to be honest. But there was just so much cool shit.
Yeah.
Like suits of armour, like weaponry, chairs that you weren't allowed to sit on.
It's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that. That was
Yeah.
a fun little day out, nice weather, and we had an Italian meal there. Well, like in Arundel, not at the castle.
Yeah, because like in fitting with the medieval style, you went for Italian
well, the
cuisine.
thing is, the castle did provide food, but like we walked past it and it smelled like a school canteen.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like
No, so
attractions like that.
yeah, but we thought let's just skip it and go to an actual restaurant.
Yep, fair enough.
So yeah, next time you're down, we'll definitely do it with you because you're. I was saying to Kat, like Jack's little eyes would light up looking at some of this stuff.
I have one question then.
Yeah.
Because I love castles, Liam,
Okay.
but I don't love what are they called? There's a name for a castle that was built to like not as a defensive structure. Does this one? When you look at the windows, Liam, picture the windows in this castle.
Yeah.
Did they have arrow slit windows or big glass windows?
Arrow slit windows.
I'm fully on board.
Yeah, I thought you might be. So yeah, I did that, and then this weekend, because I'm going on a skiing holiday next year,
Ooh.
and because I haven't skied in maybe like 10 years,
Yep.
and Kat has never skied before in her life, we went and did a couple of lessons at a indoor ski slope in Hemel Hempstead, where you were.
That's where I was, Liam.
Yeah.
We were neighbours.
I was surprised at how quickly I sort of took back to it.
Yeah. Did you manage to remember everything?
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not a very good skier, but I know how to get down the mountain and have fun doing it, and that's all that really matters.
Fair enough.
Kat, you know, it was her first time, so she didn't get to do too much. I think she wants to go back and get a little bit better. I think it was quite a small little slope. Like I'm used to actually skiing on a mountain where you get like a gondola to the top, and then it will take you a good like 20 minutes to 30 minutes to ski down.
Yeah.
This you're down in like 20 seconds.
Okay. What were you expecting, Liam?
Just a little bit bigger. So basically, the way I ski...
So you're not saying, oh, I wanted something that I could do like a 10-minute ride down.
No,
you're just saying slightly bigger than 20. That's fair enough.
Yeah, like the way I ski is I ski quite fast because... Okay, here's the thing, Jack. The instructor, first off, was fucking useless. Oh,
Cool.
let me just... Bear with me. Right, here's the thing about the instructor, Jack. We start off on this little baby slope next to like the slightly bigger slope, okay?
Yep.
And he goes, do some snowplows down. I haven't done a snowplow since like my first ever time skiing, and I've been skiing like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So I didn't really remember what I was doing. And again, this was like my first time on a slope in 10 years. So I was sort of like trying to do it, but it just didn't feel natural. And I realised it's because I'd been taught how to stop doing that to start doing like the next level, which is parallel skiing.
Yeah, so you're used to skiing properly.
Yeah,
You were
so trying to snowplow just wasn't working.
Got you.
And I noticed that I was lifting my inside leg to kind of help with turning. And he had a go at me. He was like, why are you lifting your inside leg? Has someone told you to do that? And I was like, no, I don't know why. It's what I guess I did 10 years ago. So it's just like habit or something. And he had a go at me about it. And then, I swear to you, we go onto the big slope. The first turn he does, he lifts his inside leg
Really?
I was like, why were you telling me not to do it when, that was the first thing he did? I was fucking livid.
Did you say to him?
I was tempted to. I mean, I couldn't be asked with the drama.
You could have said to him, like, oh, I noticed that you're doing the inside leg lift thing.
Yeah, okay, you could say that. I can't say things like that because my voice is too dry. It would sound aggressive.
Sure.
Like, I can't do the polite, like, oh, why did you do that?
You definitely don't put laughs in it. Yeah, that was weird.
Like, why did you lift your inside leg? You told me not to.
Well, that was aggressive.
Well, yeah, I was feeling very
Try
aggressive.
and say it unaggressively, Liam.
Why did you lift your inside leg?
Yeah, fair enough. You couldn't do it. Fair enough.
No. So that annoyed me. But yeah, the thing is, I tried doing what he was telling everyone else to do, which was go really slow. I hit a clump of snow, and it's the only time I nearly fell over. Didn't fall over in the whole 2-hour lesson, I'd like to point out. It's the only time I nearly fell over. Then I realised, wait a second, this is why I ski fast, because you hit a clump of snow like that, you just slide right through it. So
okay. I have one question. This isn't me being like, oh, Liam. I genuinely have a question.
Yeah.
So why were you doing like the beginner lessons? Was it because you were like, I need a refresher?
Yeah. So there was 5 levels of lessons. Okay.
Okay.
And there was a level 4 and a level 5, and the thing that it said about level 5 was you're confident with using a button lift, and I've never used one before.
Right.
So I was like, I don't want to jump into level 5, and they're like, the first thing we do is use a button lift, and you've just said you're confident in doing it when I've never done it before. Yeah. It was all about this fucking button lift. That was the only thing that was putting me off. And it was a piece of piss. I got on with it and it was fine. But because I'd never done it, and again, it had been 10 years, so I didn't know how much would come back to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, play it safe, go a level down. But yeah, I was in the wrong level for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's good. That means if you did go back, you'd know to go higher.
Yeah, and once you've passed like level 5, you can then just go to the slope whenever you want and just do what you want on it, essentially.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm really excited now for my holiday, because before I was a little bit like apprehensive, because again, it's been so long. But now that I know that it's come back to me and I enjoy it still, I'm really excited.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That sounds like it was. Maybe the actual lesson itself wasn't great, but it's good that you're feeling confident, Liam.
Yeah, and it was mostly because the instructor was... Like, here's how bad the instructor was. On the little baby slope, the first time we went down, someone fell at the top. He didn't notice and just left them up there. And I think they were up there for a good, 10, 15 minutes.
Is it hard to... I've never skied. Is it hard to get back up when you fall down, then?
It depends.
So because the person didn't know how to get up, they got stuck sort of thing?
Yeah.
Got you.
Exactly. Okay. Like you can do it. It's knowing what you're meant to do is the thing, and having the confidence. Like at one point, I was facing the wrong way, and he was like, "Here's how you turn around." And he showed me this way, and I tried to do it, and it just wasn't working for me. So I just did it my way, and he went, "Oh, or you could do it that way," and I just said whatever works, and I don't think he liked that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I wasn't trying to be like a little shit. But
you were being
I got to a point where he just pissed me off because he was like... We had a 15-minute lesson on how to use poles.
Fair enough.
This isn't like how to use poles when you're skiing down a slope. It's like how do you use poles when you're on a flat bit. It's pretty fucking obvious. Just do what comes natural.
Yeah, I don't know how to ski, Liam, so I don't know how hard these things are.
I actually think you'd enjoy it.
I don't know if I would. I've done mountain boarding.
Okay, that... The thing with that sounds like there's a lot of danger to it, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah. Is there not a lot of danger with skiing?
There is some danger, but with skiing, if you fall, you're on snow, it doesn't really hurt a lot.
I'm scared that my legs will go 2 different ways and I'll snap in half.
Why would that happen?
If I angle my skis out too much.
Why would you do that?
Accidentally.
Just don't.
See, that's the kind of bullshit that I don't like, Liam.
What, just not skiing wrong?
Well, what happens if it does happen? Just don't do it.
Fall backwards, or fall on your side if it does happen.
What if they keep on going?
They won't.
What if they snap off and go down the hill and then I ain't got no legs?
So, I mean, that could happen with your skis, but with your legs, it might be harder.
I might have weak shins. We don't know this, Liam.
So that was my catching up with.
Well, it sounds like you had a good week off.
Yeah, it was very relaxed and chilled.
I do like. When did you go to the castle? Was that last weekend?
Wednesday.
Oh, okay, so that was in the week. All right.
Yeah. Why?
I thought I'd assumed it was the weekend before, so I was just picturing you being like, I've had a week off and I've done 2 things on the weekend.
No, because the weekend before was Easter, wasn't it? So that was just like proper chill time.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, so having a 4-day weekend was nice, and then having a week off after it was even nicer.
Yeah, true. That sounds nice.
And then going back to work today was shit.
Yeah, I've got that tomorrow.
Yeah. When am I seeing you next?
I don't know.
Because I think there's a bank holiday that's coming up like real soon.
Is there one next week?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can come down this weekend
Okay.
because I'm seeing my grandparents on Saturday.
Like, well, you could bring them.
Mm,
What? We could take them
Maybe
to
not.
Arundel Castle. They'd fucking love it.
no, I think they've planned an evening meal.
Oh, that's not as castle-y.
It's not. There will be a distinct lack of castles.
Yeah. I like the idea now that you're like, could be seeing a castle, but instead, sat
Oh, I know.
here
She
doing a
brought me
meal.
somewhere without a castle. Fantastic.
And then you just order mashed potatoes so you can carve your own castle. Well, I hope you have a good time with them and tell them I say hi. And
I won't. I won't tell them that you said hi. I'll have a good time with them.
why wouldn't you tell them I said hi?
Because they don't know you, Liam.
Oh, they must have heard about me by now.
Oh, probably not.
Did they not listen?
I don't think so.
I think they'd enjoy it.
So, other than the catching up with stuff, Liam,
Yeah.
I assume you've been doing other stuff in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Probably stuff that you want to talk to us about.
So should we explain how this section is now changing a little bit?
It works exactly the same as it always has. It's just instead of it being specifically about movies or something, it's going to be Liam did stuff and Jack did stuff.
Yeah, because Jack was getting very confused about the whole idea of...
It wasn't confusing me, it was annoying me that your section was
Yeah.
always Liam went to the cinema and did this, which you made a nice custom title card for.
Yeah.
And any time I did anything, because you were too lazy to make a new title card, mine
I'm
was
not
always
going
the
to
same
make a
bullshit
new
title card.
every single time. If you did the same thing consistently, you'd have had one, but you
Yeah,
don't.
which I don't. You know me, Liam. I like
Exactly.
changing what I'm doing.
So you don't get title cards then.
Well, now we're just changing it to Liam did stuff, and here is the spoiler-free stuff of the stuff that he did.
And also Jack did stuff.
Yeah.
Also
So-
spoiler-free.
All spoiler-free. So,
Yeah.
Liam,
Yeah.
what stuff did you do?
I went to the cinema.
Okay. What did you go and see at the cinema?
Well, it hasn't been a great week, I'm going to be honest. But not bad either. I went to see Going in Style,
Okay.
which is directed by Zach Braff. You'll know him from Scrubs.
I also know him from some of his films and directing.
Go on then, name one of his films.
There was that one that he kickstarted.
Yeah, which was called?
Can't remember. And
Cool.
there was that one where they're like wearing trash bags and standing in the rain.
Okay. He's not in this one. He just directed it.
Okay.
It has Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin as the leads, and it's about like three old guys who find out their pension is being frozen by the bank, so they decide to rob a bank to kind of like a bit like Robin Hood, you know, steal from the rich, give to the poor kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I've seen the trailers for this, I think.
Yeah, you have because it references The Bachelor.
Yes, that's right.
Also, it's quite timely because like there's quite a few kind of Hollywood films that are very like anti-bankers at the moment, like The Big Short, all that sort of stuff. There's others that I'm forgetting, but you know, like it's a trend, and this kind of plays into that. But this was just like a real nice, gentle, family-friendly comedy. Like if this was on TV, you could sit down and watch it with your mum, and you'd have a couple of chuckles, a good time. But it's not going to like blow your mind or anything. 3 out of 5.
That's all right.
Yeah, it was pleasant.
Fair enough. I might watch it at some point.
Yeah, you know, it's the sort of thing I wouldn't say like hunt down, but if it comes across your path, you could do worse than... It was only an hour and a half, so it's a nice, easy watch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fair enough, yeah.
Next film was Table 19.
I don't know that.
It has Anna Kendrick in it. So the premise is basically, you know, at a wedding, you have like allocated seating.
Yep.
Table 19 is like the table at the back, where it's described in the film as the people who should have known better than to come.
Okay.
So it's all these like misfits all together on a table, and it's the sort of thing where, you know, the characters like find out new things about each other and stuff. A bit like Breakfast Club-y, but at a wedding.
Yeah, got you.
With adults. It had Anna Kendrick in it, who is just always good, to be honest. Lisa Kudrow, who you know her as Phoebe from Friends.
Yes, I do.
She's fine in it. Craig Robinson, who again, like he's great in like The American Office, but
Who does he play?
I can't remember the name of his character. Daryl,
Okay.
I think it is.
Fair enough.
The guy who starts off managing the warehouse.
Oh, got you, yeah.
Yeah. Tony Revolori, who was in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Stephen Merchant, you know him as the co-creator of the UK office.
Yep.
He was also really good. The thing is, it was like marketed and advertised and billed as a comedy, possibly the most depressing comedy you're likely to see. Like,
Oh, really?
not like massively depressing. It's not a laugh a minute chuckle fest. There's like a bit of weight to it as well.
Yeah.
It was alright. It wasn't like brilliant. It was only like 80 minutes, so it was in and out, nice and quick. 2.5 out of 5. Like again, you know, you could spend that time in worse ways, but I wouldn't say hunt it out.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But Anna Kendrick's great, so it's always good to see her.
She is incredible. Well, Liam, I've done some stuff in the last 2 weeks.
What stuff did Jack do?
One of our listeners,
Yes,
Gibbo, recommended a book to me, and I'm really glad he did, because they're incredible. The book's called We Are Legion, We Are Bob.
Okay.
And so the premise of it is that this guy in sort of slightly in the future,
Yeah.
so, you know, a few years from now, some company claims they've perfected cryogenic freezing, and the beginning is just him being like literally one chapter is him being like, oh, I've gone and done it, and his mates being like, oh, you're ridiculous, it's all a scam, you're an idiot. And then he then dies in a car crash, like immediately, and wakes up, I think it's 200 years in the future.
Yeah.
Discovering that he has lost, in this new government, he has lost all his rights as a person because he's technically, he like gets restored as a computer.
Okay.
But the whole book then, but the bit that makes it interesting, because that stuff's cool at the beginning, but not, you know, I was reading it and I was like, well, I'm not 100% sold on this yet.
Yeah.
But they basically there's this race that the human race is having to colonize the universe.
Okay.
So they create these robots like him that are sent to go to a new star system, build a few factories to start like building machines and making more of himself to send out to more places, basically trying to find habitable planets.
Yeah.
But the book starts following the clones of himself that he makes.
Okay.
So you've got Bob, Bill, Khan, Riker, or number 2, Homer and Bart get made, and it's basically all these, like, because all the clones have a slightly different personality but the same like basic memories.
Yeah.
And it's just this really interesting look at, like, it's something that hasn't been tackled in anything else, I don't think.
Okay.
Like, how do you deal with yourself when there are 100 of you?
How do you know if you're you, sort of thing?
Yeah, well, they that is like a huge bit at the beginning, them trying to figure out what it means to be a computer copy of someone.
Okay.
Like, and whether anyone is the actual human still, or if they're all not.
Okay.
But, like, genuinely, that book was amazing, and then I didn't realise that the second one wasn't even out when I started reading, so I then didn't read any more books for 3 days until the second one came out, and then immediately bought it and read that, which is called For We Are Many.
Yeah.
And just keeps carrying on that story and getting better and better. So I don't think the next book's out till like June, and it's killing me because I really want it.
So, thank you, Gibbo, for that suggestion, I guess.
Yeah, that was a great suggestion.
Out of 5?
4.5 for the first 2, I think, combined.
Okay, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I couldn't put them down and just loved them.
That's very good, I guess.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I did, Liam,
Yeah.
is something that you're going to be super fascinated about.
Okay.
You're going to be just so excited. You're going to have a lot of questions, and I get that, Liam, and I want you to ask me them. So
Okay.
I'll say what it was, and then
Yeah.
you ask me all the questions you're going to have.
Alright.
I watched the second season of Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay. Was it better than the first one?
Yes.
Was it set in Tokyo?
Yes.
Were there ghouls?
Yes.
Cool.
Sorted.
Did you want to embellish on any of that for our listeners?
Nah. No, Tokyo Ghoul was the one that I spoke about before. Where
Yeah, we've got season 1
people
reviewed on YouTube and in an episode at
So
some
go
point.
look that down. Go give that a watch so it gets a view, please.
Yeah, it desperately needs it.
It's honestly, if anyone out there likes anime, I don't know if any of you do, I would recommend watching Tokyo Ghoul.
I would actually be curious for our listeners, if you do like anime, to actually let us know, because I would just like to know how many of our listeners are with you on anime.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not going to stop. Even if all
No,
our
I know.
listeners tweeted in being like, oh, I hate it.
But what I'm thinking is, if there are some out there that do like it, like Gibbo, maybe they could point you in some good directions.
That's true. Just to point out, if anyone likes anime and thinks they have a recommendation that Liam would like, I genuinely want to find an anime for Liam to watch.
I would like that as well.
But yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, it stays good the second season. It just made me fall in love with all the characters even more. Did I cry in Tokyo Ghoul season 2? I think I did.
Is that your review?
Yeah. No,
Excellent.
because then all my reviews would be the same, because the answer to that question for most things is yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's not like a barometer for something if you cried or not.
No, because I'll cry at stuff that isn't even good.
Or sad.
No, it has to be a little bit sad.
Okay. Out of 5?
Probably 4 out of 5.
What's like the animation like?
I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no, like, it doesn't feel jumpy. You know how some of the older ones
Yeah.
can feel a little bit sort of, almost like not frame skipping, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a jerkiness to it. This doesn't have that. The colours they use in it are quite cool. It's got a quite nice art style.
Okay.
Like, it's really dark, but then they do things in bright colours that make sense to be in bright colours.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it just looks nice.
I think in the first review you kind of explained what the ghouls were and all that sort of stuff. So I guess is it just more of that?
They do the usual sort of anime thing where, you know, there's versions of ghouls that are stronger than normal.
Yeah.
They start to expand on that a little bit, although they don't do it too much. It's not like, you know, Dragon Ball, where suddenly there's just a stronger enemy and that's it.
Okay.
This series just went more into the why are the humans and ghouls fighting and who's right. Like, this show's really good at both sides. Because you have characters who are just humans,
Yeah.
and there are the ones that are just ghouls, and then there's these sort of middle ground characters, and there are characters on all the sides that you're like, oh, I really like this person, and then the next scene will be them killing one of your favourite characters from a different group,
Right.
and you're like, oh, what? But I like them, and I like him too, so why are they killing each other?
That sounds a bit interesting. Like
It genuinely is, honestly. I wanted to recommend it for you.
it sounds a bit like what they kind of could have done with The Walking Dead, where you follow one group, and if you'd maybe followed a different group, when they all start killing each other, it'd have a bit more impact.
Yeah, it kind of is like that. Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so 4 out of 5. Really enjoyed it.
Very good. Is that it for We Did Stuff?
I think so.
That's the stuff that we did.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. What have you been up to?
I played more Horizon Zero Dawn.
And how's that going?
I think I'm getting a lot closer to the end now.
Okay, cool.
I think. I've now seen every machine in the game,
Yeah.
which implies to me that there's not... So that means I've probably fought and I've killed one of everything.
Okay, so yeah, you're probably towards the end then.
Yeah, I had a realisation as well. This is a good point. This has reminded me that there
Okay.
was something I wanted to talk about this, which is, you know, there was a point in the last episode where I was like, I'm sure there's a use for these other weapons, and I'm
Yep.
sure we're doing stuff
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I fought something, and I genuinely like started using other stuff and being like, oh, I should 100% have been thinking about how I do stuff, because
Okay.
the fight got not easier, but it just made sense. Well, like, I wasn't just firing arrow after arrow into a machine.
Yeah.
Like using the warbow and like setting up because certain things are weak to stuff, and then being
Yeah.
like, well, if I freeze that enemy, that buys me time to set up another thing against this enemy. Like, I started doing stuff like that, and it did make things smoother in the combat, I think.
Okay.
So if you go back and play that, Liam, maybe try using other stuff just to see what you
I
think.
mean, you know I will go back and play it, right?
Yeah, I know, but so
Yeah.
maybe see what you think about using other things and whether it helps or not.
Okay.
But that was the big thing. I haven't, like, you know, made a huge amount of progress.
Fair enough. We've had some correspondence.
Yes.
Tom verified that if you go to youtube.com and you type in Nerd on Nerd, all one word, we pop up.
Way!
So thanks for that, Tom.
Cheers, Tom.
We've also had a couple of recommendations for things. One of them we will be doing next time, so we'll save that.
Exciting.
But Gibbo, who recommended your new favourite book, recommended we watch the films of Yahoo Serious.
Yep.
He wants some more Australian flavour on the show. So
That's cool. I think we're both up for that at some point, aren't we?
yeah, we've added that to the list.
Yep.
That's about it, really, when it comes to like Twitter and stuff. We did have Lee from Atlantic Screen Connection did go to one of our, I think our last episode and left a load of comments on it on SoundCloud.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
Ooh, I need to go check that.
Yeah, so that was nice. I think he left like 8 comments or 6.
Oh, cool.
I can't 8. Yeah, 8. It was mostly, I'm not gonna lie, it was mostly the films, my film reviews that he was leaving comments on, well, our film reviews, because you did Ghost in the Shell.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, that is like Lee's specialty, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the most popular part of the show, so it makes sense.
They are proper film people, Liam, is what I was saying.
No, it's just the most popular part of the show. So.
It isn't.
Well,
The most popular part of the show is when I talk about animes.
I mean, if we look at our stats on YouTube...
We don't look at our stats, you bastard.
No, I do.
Exactly.
You don't.
Oh, I do have a quick question, Liam, before you move on to your housekeeping things.
Yeah, no, I was just wanting to clarify. Tokyo Ghoul reviewed by Jack, no views, and Sword Art Online 2 reviewed by Jack, also no views. So the anime
It's because
is
people
going
like the
down
sound of my voice.
store.
They don't need images to keep their attention, Liam.
Yeah, what was the question?
As everyone knows, and I'm sure they've been patiently waiting for this whole episode, we are keeping track of your DVD tally.
Yep.
So, Liam, the total last time was 1091.
Yep.
How many films have you knocked off that list?
The total is 6. So
that you've knocked off?
Well, it's now down to 1,085. I probably watched more than 6. I think I bought 1 film in the last week.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, well, that's a huge amount of progress. 6 change that number is impressive. Now, Liam, just a quick question.
Yeah.
Have you... How can I ask? Have you bought any films that haven't arrived yet?
Nah, not yet.
Oh, really? Because I'm sure we had a discussion before this episode recording where you actually clarified that whilst you have lowered the number by 6, that only counts if you don't include things you've spent money on but haven't received yet.
Yeah, I'm not counting those until they receive.
Okay, well, I am. So the number on the official list is still 1091, listeners.
Well, no. How's it 1091 still?
Because you said that you had bought 6 more things.
No, 5.
Oh, sorry. I apologise. I'll change the number.
Or 6, depending on if you want to count some stuff or not.
Oh, I do. I'm counting that one as well.
The thing is, that's just complicating things, Jack.
Oh, it's not.
No, it is.
It's very simple. It's very simple, Liam. I've created a list, and on that list, I now have 3 numbers.
Yeah.
The first one says 1,091. The number below that now says 1,091. And then the number next to that, which is the total change for the time period, it just says 0.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I've got my own list, so I can keep up to date with all this. And when stuff arrives, I add it to that list. Not when I click purchase. What if, it doesn't arrive? What if there's a problem?
Okay, now my counter-argument to that, Liam, would be, has the money left your account?
Not yet, because it was a pre-order.
Okay, then that's fine, because that's legitimately, that was the original point we made, was that it was about how much money you had spent, was the, original issue for this.
Yeah, I think the money doesn't leave until it gets dispatched, because it was a pre-order.
Okay, then I am willing, Liam, to knock the number down to 1,086.
Well, 85, because the other one also hasn't been dispatched, so the money won't come out yet.
85.
Let's just do it where when it arrives, we add it. That just makes the most sense. Well, it does. Otherwise, you're making it overly complicated for no reason.
Yeah, and I feel like that's stressful to you that I'm overcomplicating it, so therefore I enjoy doing it.
I think it's more just annoying to our listeners.
I don't. Listeners, you, it's whoever I annoy. I'm fine with it.
Right, okay.
So good job, Liam. You now have 85 films to watch to get that number below 1,000.
Well, 86 to get it below 1,000.
True, good point.
Thank you. I've done some housekeeping, Jack.
Yes, you have big news, don't you, Liam?
Yes, I have finally, after hours of slogging through, I have finally finished Twin Peaks.
That wasn't the big one I was thinking about, but go on. What was your opinion after watching the second season?
Jesus Christ.
Second season?
Yeah, second season. So we did the first 3 episodes of season 1, and then I've progressively just... Me and Kat have stuck with it. It's taken us a while, because it never really hooked us.
Yeah.
And... Oh, Jack. I think last time we spoke, I said to you that the killer had just been revealed.
Yep.
And I was like, so far it's okay. It hasn't got any better, it hasn't got a lot worse, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It got worse, Jack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just becomes, dull and annoying and boring. There's a couple of things that are okay, and you sort of watch for those things, but the majority is just a slog. By the end, both me and Kat were just so, relieved to be over with it. And so, to put it into perspective, afterwards, me and Kat watched a different show, and we did it in, a 13-episode show in 4 days, because we just got hooked.
Yeah.
This was just painful. By the end, I think the entire experience of Twin Peaks overall, I would give 2 out of 5.
Okay, that's pretty low.
Yeah, there's still a prequel movie that we haven't watched yet, but we'll get around to that before the new season starts. But at the moment, I am not an eager beaver for the new season.
Fair enough.
Did something else though, didn't I?
Yeah, this was the one... Well, I say this was the one, but you might not say the one I'm thinking of. So what did you do, Liam?
Well, I have read a little bit more Berserk, but not enough to really talk about
it. That's the one.
And, I look, here's the thing that I think people maybe don't fully know about me, but they'll pretty soon cotton on. I have a lot of perseverance.
Yeah, well, is it perseverance, or is it a mental problem?
Oh, it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Little from column A, little from column B. If I say I'm going to do something, I will do it. I like to follow through. If I say, I don't know, I'm going to complete The Witcher 3 and get every fucking trophy in that game because I've already put in 45 hours, so why wouldn't I? I'm going to do that, Jack.
Yep.
And this week, my week off, finally had managed to get a good couple of days to just sit down and storm through the ending of The Witcher 3.
Way.
Completed it. I think my total time was like 94 hours, I think it was, or something.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
What?
When you'd done 44 hours and you went, well, why wouldn't I play the rest? The correct answer would be because there's apparently 42 more hours still to go.
92 hours and 45 minutes in total it took me to platinum.
That's insane.
And that doesn't include, like, obviously, so that's only when it's registered like a save. So if I've, like, died and had to reload a save or something, that wasn't included. So we could easily add another 5 to 10 hours on top of that.
Oh, 100%.
The reason why, Jack, is because I had a huge feeling of satisfaction and achievement from doing it. Also, here's the thing, and this kind of plays into what my initial review was getting at. Once I actually got some of the more trickier trophies that were easy to miss out of the way, I could relax with the game a little bit and enjoy it a bit more because I wasn't constantly, like, doing a bit and having to go back to make sure I hadn't done anything wrong to miss out on a trophy, to then have to reload and do it again to make sure I did it right, sort of thing. Like, that's a really frustrating way to play a game. Which I know you're going to argue.
Liam, it fucking is
you're
a really
going to
frustrating
argue
way.
is my fault for doing it that way.
I mean, it is. I mean, this is the thing, Liam. I'm willing to accept and have on multiple occasions conceded when you're like the way they've done these trophies is annoying. I'm like, yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
My issue isn't that. My issue is that whilst you say that, you could not play the game without going for the trophies. You could.
But no, because then I'll have done like 90.
No,
wouldn't have saved a lot of time.
But that's the thing, Liam. We had this discussion last week where I was saying I could do something. I won't do something, therefore I can't. Right?
What?
Last week we were talking about editing something, and I went on a long rant about how I won't do that, which means that I can't do that. And you had a go at me and said, that's ridiculous, don't be insane. What I'm saying, Liam, is you don't have to play the game and get all the trophies.
But I wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't have to.
No,
so when the issue that you've got with a game is I had to play a certain way to not miss trophies, that is your fault. I'm not having a go at you, but you can't blame the game for that. It is your fault of
the game.
No, yes, it's not. Because you don't have to do it.
You don't have
Therefore,
to. Therefore,
it is your fault.
No, it's a little bit of both.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Just accept the blame for this. This is legitimately on you.
Right, why would I put in like 90 hours into a game?
What, like most people?
And then go, oh shit, I've missed
How many,
out
just
on
to
that
clarify,
one
Liam,
thing.
if you go on the Witcher 3 trophies,
Yeah,
and then you look at the percentage of people that have the platinum trophy,
yeah.
what's the percentage?
Probably low, I don't know.
Probably
the
like
exact
0 point something,
number.
right?
Because
that seems pretty standard from what I've
I
seen.
honestly have no idea, but I can check later and get back to you.
Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm saying there, Liam, is the majority of gamers don't play games the way you do.
Yeah, but that's
so
up
game
to them.
companies don't build games for you. They build it for their audience, which is obviously not the trophy hunters.
So why do they include such annoying trophies then?
I don't know, but they probably
if they're
don't
not
care,
doing it for
if
the
0.8% of the population are complaining, that's not that many.
Yeah, okay, but here's my question, right? If they don't care about people that do trophy hunting and all that sort of shit, why put annoying trophies in then? If you don't care about those people, just make the trophies really easy.
Because I imagine that they've got a team somewhere that when they're making this game, they just go, find shit that people could do that is trophy merited. Like, you know.
Well, we're getting off track
how about
because
completing the Gwent collection?
trying...
And then they go, yeah, go for it, make a trophy.
We're getting off track because I'm trying to give my review of The Witcher 3 and you're getting distracted with the way I've approached the game. Now, I shouldn't need saying, but I guess for some of our more slower co-hosts, I need to clarify. This is my review of my experience playing The Witcher 3. Other people will approach it differently.
That's fine. So long as you clarify when it's your opinion and don't make sweeping statements about game companies, I'm all on board.
So, my experience with The Witcher 3 is the trophies were fucking annoying. However, so I was trying to say, once I got the more difficult, missable trophies behind me and out of the way and I could relax and play the game however I wanted...
properly.
It was a tiny bit more fun. What I liked, in the end, was the story. Like, seeing how the story progressed.
Yeah.
What I think the game did wrong, in my opinion, is you have a really good opening area, and I said this in my initial review.
Yep.
Then you get to, like, the first big map, and it throws so many, like, side quests and stuff at you that it's almost a little bit overwhelming and very easy to get distracted and just, like, waste hours doing those, which is what I ended up doing, and it can really slow things down, and especially if you know that progressing with the story could potentially lock off some of those so you couldn't complete them, or whatever, then that's going to put you off of progressing with the story, which is what happened with me. Once So I think the issue that they had is they shouldn't have thrown that much content at you immediately. They should have eked it out. So maybe you progress a bit more with the story, and instead of locking things off, it actually opens up more.
Yeah, well, one of your ideas was that they should have split the second map in two.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I agree with. I get that.
Yeah. So that sort of thing would have been good. But yeah, once... Because the thing is, my last like probably 10 to 15 hours was just doing the story. Because the way they've like developed the game, all of the side quest stuff, once you get to a certain point, you can't go back and do.
Yeah.
And that's like, that point, there's still 10 hours of like game left. So that's annoying. Like, that's just, to me, doesn't seem well designed.
Oh, I thought you were saying you liked that, though.
I liked it because I got all that stuff done. But for someone who hadn't put the time in to do that, I could see it being frustrating.
As someone that doesn't do play things the way you do,
I want you to finish this game for the story.
Yeah. I think I probably will at some point, but I've got Mass Effect to finish in HDD.
I don't think you will.
I'm going to finish Mass Effect. Might, and I'm close on that. I'm going to do HDD, but only because I feel like I'm close to the end.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll go back and finish The Witcher.
Depends on what comes out, Liam.
Well, let's find out, because I have a very good feeling. If we look at the amount of culture swaps we've done that you've said you want to go and finish, that you have then gone and finished, I think we've had an interesting
what
number.
ones have I not done?
Making a Murderer.
I had problems with Making a Murderer, though.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, but then you've started... Twin Peaks, you then came back every time we catch up on it and you go, it's the same. And then you've just finished with, it's not good.
I'm trying to think of what else we've done that was like something that we've started and haven't.
I honestly can't think of that many. Like, not to defend myself, because it is the kind of thing I would do.
It is more TV shows, let's be honest, because most other things that we do... Although we have done a couple of games, but like some of the games we've done you can't finish, like Overwatch.
Yeah. And I think I've watched a lot of TV shows that we've done.
I wouldn't be sure. I'm trying to think of any that we've started, like any others that we've started. But I'm drawing blanks.
Things like Sense8, I already finished.
Yes, that doesn't really count.
So we're not counting the ones that I haven't done it for.
Not the ones that you'd already finished before we recorded the episode.
Maybe the list just isn't that big, Liam.
What about Before Sunset? Have you done that yet?
No.
There we go then.
That's not high on my list, though.
It should be.
Because I didn't like it.
It should be, though.
Okay.
So yeah, my overall experience with The Witcher 3, I'm going to give in total a 3 out of 5.
Fair enough.
Massive room for improvement, but that, is partly my issue as well as the game's.
Okay.
And that's it for housekeeping.
Way.
Also, that is it for the saga of Liam playing The Witcher 3. There were people on Twitter that were like, just give up, stop playing it. To those people, I say, fuck you. I'll do what I want. Like, the thing that annoyed me...
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, Liam?
Is how little faith people had in me actually. Like people didn't think I would sit down and actually get this platinum trophy. As if they just don't know how determined I can be about this sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I knew you would finish it. It was just annoying me that you were going to finish it.
Is it annoyed you that I finished it, or are you happy?
No. It's not annoying now that you finished it. It only annoys me when there was a specific period, I think you must have been about 50 to 60 hours in, where there was... We all knew you would have more time playing it, but there was stuff that I wanted you to be doing other than that.
Yeah, well...
So that's the only time I actually get annoyed with it. Like, I genuinely don't mind when you talk about it on the show. I just find it funny to complain about it.
Okay. Well, I will probably go to Horizon Zero Dawn next.
Cool.
But I have ordered some other... the Batman remaster game.
Fair enough. Is that Arkham Asylum?
And Arkham City.
Cool.
Because I've never played Arkham City before.
Oh, fair enough. That's good.
Because I don't know if I think we might have talked about it on the show ages ago when we were both playing Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And I think one of the issues I had was like following the story, not having seen what happened in City was a bit frustrating.
Yes, yeah, and I can see that.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm having a little break from gaming for a little bit, just to do some more movies, because that week off was meant to be a gaming and movies week, and it just became gaming. Because I was like... I got to that point where I was like, I know I'm going to finish it. Like, I'm on the end stretch, so I just wanted to get it done.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Productive week off, though, finishing Witcher 3 and Twin Peaks.
Very productive. Culture swap.
Swap my culture.
What did we do this time, Liam?
We got real cultural. We went to South Korea.
We didn't physically go to South Korea, listeners.
No, but we watched a film that was set in South Korea.
Yeah.
So, like, from the comfort of our own homes, we went to South Korea.
Yeah, it was like a little snippet into the South Korean world.
Yeah, exactly. We saw Train to Busan.
I'd heard nothing about this film, Liam, until you suggested it to me last episode.
Okay, I had heard a little bit about it, but just that, it was a zombie film set on a train, and it was meant to be good. And generally, I really like South Korean cinema, at least what I've seen.
I don't think I've seen much. What's the film called that I'm thinking of? Snow thingy?
Snowpiercer.
Is that by a South Korean
Yes.
company? Yes. Okay.
And I think director.
Yes. Yeah. But they used a lot of English actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's probably the
American, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I meant English speaking.
English speaking. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
Old Boy you've seen as well, which is South Korean.
I haven't seen Old Boy.
We had this discussion already, haven't we?
Yep.
Well, you need to watch Old Boy. That needs to
I
be
know.
on our
I know.
list.
I'm aware that I need to watch Old Boy.
Okay. Anyway, Train to Busan. So you knew nothing about it.
Yep.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Wow.
Like I wasn't
praise.
sure what to expect going into it,
Okay.
but I genuinely, when it finished, I was like, wow, that was really good.
Yeah, I watched this with Kat last night, and she said, like, she had some other stuff she wanted to do. She's like, I'll give it the first 30 minutes. If I want to see how it ends, I'll stick with it, and if not, I'll go do other stuff. And she stuck with it.
What did you think? Did you like it?
I did. I like South Korean cinema. I had a few issues, as I'm known to do, but it was definitely more positive than negative for me.
Cool. Do we want to... Right, well, let's point out, listeners, there's going to be spoilers.
There will be spoilers.
So if you want to go see Train to Busan, which I would recommend to anyone that was interested in zombie films...
Or South Korean cinema.
Or South Korean cinema. Or if you've got, if you like sort of family... Not family-friendly, that's not the word.
No.
Like a family-oriented film, as in, like, one of the core concepts is family connections. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, Liam. What am I trying to say?
Like a film about family.
Yeah, that's a simple way to say it.
Yeah.
Go watch it. If not...
It's okay, here's how I would describe it. If this sounds up your street, go watch it. It's like Snowpiercer meets World War Z.
Yeah, that's fair.
So if that sounds up your street, watch this film. If not, we're about to spoil the fuck out of it. So
hell yeah.
Stick around and you can just pretend to your friends you've seen it.
Exactly.
One thing I forgot to mention in housekeeping, but I can mention it here. On the last episode, I got a few names, I pronounced them wrong, and we had a couple of people who very helpfully and kindly messaged me with the correct pronunciations of these names. So this one, I'm going to let you do the names, Jack.
No, well, you're going to have to say names as well, Liam.
No.
Right, here's the thing, listeners. It's a South Korean film, so a lot of these names are South Korean. So what I'm going to do when I read them is I'm going to take a best guess if I can't remember how it was pronounced in the film. So if we say something wrong, it's not us being idiots. It's genuinely us trying.
Yeah.
There you go. Simple.
So who's in it? Who are the main characters?
Gong Yu is Seok Woo.
Okay, and who's he?
He's a fund manager obsessed with his work.
Alright, so someone else calls him arsehole throughout the film.
Yes.
He's arsehole. Next.
Fair enough. Jung Yu Mi was Seong Kyung, who is Sang Hwa's pregnant wife.
She's the pregnant wife. Next.
Yeah. Kim Soo An was Soo An.
That was arsehole's daughter.
Yes, it was.
Next.
Ma Dong Seok was Sang Hwa. He's a tough working class man.
He was cool guy. I liked him.
Yeah.
Cool. He also husband to pregnant wife.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I'm just having there's probably 2 more characters I'd say that are important. Maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Yeah.
There's Kim Yoo Sung was Yeon Suk, who is a rich CEO. I am reading this off Wikipedia, which is why they're ridiculous.
He's like the villain, if you will.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call him Dickhead.
Yep, that's fair. So we've got arsehole and Dickhead.
Yeah.
Then there's Choi Woo Sik as Yongguk, who is a young baseball player. He was the cool baseball guy.
Yeah, I'm going to call him, like, Jock.
Well, he didn't strike me as particularly jockey.
No, but for sake of ease...
I'm just going to call him baseball.
Yeah, baseball, that works.
Then... Yeah, okay, yeah, this person is the person I was thinking.
The cheerleader.
Ahn Soo-hee played Jin-hee, which is the baseball guy's close friend, is what it says on Wikipedia.
But she's a cheerleader.
Well, I don't know if... I think that was a joke she was saying. I don't think she actually was a cheerleader.
Care. I'm calling her cheerleader.
Okay, fine. I'm going to call her girlfriend.
You also had the 2 old ladies.
Yeah, but they're not. They weren't super important to the film.
Moving on.
There was also the homeless guy.
Oh, yeah, he was cool.
He wasn't important. I was just saying as another example of a character that we could do this for,
yeah.
but who isn't critical for us knowing the name of.
Cool, okay. So, Now we've got all of the names who have all been impeccably pronounced by Jack, and I'm sure if he hasn't pronounced any of them, I'm sure you guys will let him know where he went wrong.
Oh, in all seriousness, if I pronounce them wrong, let me know, because I genuinely am interested in the correct pronunciations.
Yeah. So we liked it.
Yeah.
Cool. The end.
What were your issues? You said you had issues with the film, Liam.
Okay. The issues I had is I didn't think it was particularly scary for a horror film.
I don't find zombie films particularly scary.
No, I don't know if it was trying to be that scary.
Yeah.
Like World War Z, which I compared it to earlier, isn't a scary film.
No, exactly, yeah.
But
that's fair.
But I would have liked more, horror. Because the thing is, they've done a couple of cool different things with zombies that you don't often get that would allow for scary scenes that I think is a bit of a missed
opportunity. Is that the fact that they're running zombies?
No, it's the fact that they can't see in the dark.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing they've added.
Yeah, and they have a couple of tense moments with it, but it never escalates into actual a good scene of horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even when the zombies are attacking and going crazy, it's never excessively gory, I would say. And just to give us some sort of frame of comparison, for me, the scariest zombie film I've seen is the Spanish film Wreck.
Yeah, Wreck is terrifying, that's true.
Yeah, so when I say I wanted it to be scarier, that is how I think you can do a scary zombie film.
You can. And this isn't me arguing against you, because I also wouldn't have minded if it was more scary. I don't know if it needed to be more scary.
It wouldn't necessarily benefited the story or anything.
But I also wouldn't have minded if they had done a really scary...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a good premise, zombies on a train, essentially.
Yeah, I was a bit iffy about it at first. I was like, is this going to work? Because after... There's that first scene where the zombies sort of hit and it all spreads through the train.
Yes.
And I was like, the moment they shut that door...
It was so cool. That was a cool scene.
It is a really cool scene. But the moment they shut that door and they're like, oh, when the zombies can't see us, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, how is there more film? Oh, cool, we've just figured it out and we sorted it. But then they do actually... It is an interesting premise that stays interesting.
Yeah, and I think they do... the issue with these high concept kind of premises where it's this on a this, that sort of thing, is it can get quite difficult to sustain that for a whole film.
Yeah,
and
I think they made the right decision to have that. There's a bit in the middle where they get off the train to go into a train station, and if the whole film had been on that train, it would have got worn out.
But I think they not only that, but when they do have to get off the train for whatever reason, it's always believable scenarios.
Yes, it's never just
it feels organic. It doesn't feel like they're just doing it to stretch out the film. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I like how the zombies look and move. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say now, I think there's a whole level of this, with cultural significance and political significance that I'm
Can
not
we do this
on.
later, please? I'd like to talk about the film first.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I'm not, there's a whole level there that I'm not even picking up on.
Okay, fine.
I think it's there, because there's little tiny glimpses, but I don't know enough about Korean politics and culture to pick up on all of it.
Fair enough.
I imagine the song that she sings probably has some relevance to, would have a different meaning if you were from South Korea than what we're getting from it.
You know the song.
Do I?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the song is, but I know that the tune is a song that we know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's It's a Western... I don't know if it's, a song that is then just translated into Korean.
Okay.
Or if it's the same tune, but a different song.
Different... There's certain things, with Asian culture that you see in film that to them, it's like shorthand. You know how we have shorthand in film?
Yeah. It's like the red letter thing in China.
What's that?
So a red letter in China is on a specific birthday, everyone in China gets a red letter which contains money from their grandparents, I think it is, and it's this really big cultural thing.
Okay, yeah.
So I imagine if there was a Chinese film, they might not explain that scene, they would just do a red letter.
Exactly.
And you knew what that meant, but we wouldn't, sort of thing.
Yeah. So, there's potentially there's that going on. What else did I like?
We're doing issues.
Oh, we're doing issues.
Yeah, you did. You said you didn't like that it wasn't scary enough.
Yeah, okay. What else did I not like? I thought it was a little bit too long.
Fair enough. I didn't feel that, but
so it's 2 hours.
There were a couple of bits where I was like, yeah, I think it didn't feel long.
No.
But it also doesn't feel short.
No. It wasn't an issue so much. It could have been I wouldn't have taken a lot out, but maybe like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's very rare that there'll be a film that I'll be like, I wish this was longer. So, another issue is they killed my favourite character.
I mean, they kill a lot of characters. Your favourite character was Awesome Guy, yes?
Yeah. Awesome guy with the pregnant wife.
Yeah.
He was super cool. And I wanted him... I'm okay with them killing him, but I wanted him to be around for a bit longer.
Yeah, they did that one, though. Like, both him and the guy you're calling Dickhead.
Yeah, the main guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them had... both their deaths were...
Oh, wait, no, sorry, no, Dickhead is the villain. The main guy's
arsehole. Yeah. Like, both of them had a very... Not obvious. Like, I liked both their deaths.
Yeah.
In that they were both good deaths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hated that the characters died.
Yes.
But like, there was an obvious scene...
quite noble, so always sacrificing themselves or whatever.
Yeah, and there was a very obvious scene where they were setting up the fact that both of them would die.
When was
or
that?
At least one of them, which is those two have a conversation.
Yeah.
When they start to, like, not hate each other.
Yeah.
And Awesome Guy says, that's the thing about being a dad, it's all about sacrifice, and they won't understand until they're older, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the moment he said that, I was like, okay, one of you's dying.
Yeah. And I think, like, one of the things I liked is that they did kill off essentially the main character.
Yeah, and that scene is... Like, I messaged Liam when the final scene happened, which is sort of the final scene, but the dad, the main dad, sacrifice, like, he gets bitten on the hand, saving his daughter from, like, the last zombie they're fighting.
Yeah.
And I literally just was in open tears, like, not even a single tear rolling down my cheek. I was just crying.
Yeah.
Because it's that scene felt so horribly, like, real. Like, the fact that he started crying because he knew that he's, like, about to kill himself to save his daughter.
Yeah.
And, like, just the way the little girl was, like, screaming, "Don't go."
Yeah, that was pretty tragic.
It didn't feel like in a Western film or in a more, like, common film.
Yeah.
I could see that being really overplayed, like, too emotional.
Yeah.
Whereas it felt
like the music
real.
Would swell up.
Yeah. Whereas that just felt like, actually, that is how people would act in that situation.
Yeah, one of the things that makes me nervous is the idea that this will probably end up getting a remake that will not be very good.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want that.
No. Yeah, other issues. I would have liked just maybe like one more tense scene. Like, there's a couple. Like, there's one where they're like crawling along the baggage, the bit where you put your bags above the seats, and all the zombies are in the dark below them. And I really liked the scene where a train carriage topples over and they're face to face with zombies and glass that's cracking.
Yeah.
I liked that sort of stuff. I would have liked one more scene like that, where it was more tense. But yeah, other than that, like, I don't have a lot of issues, to be honest.
No, I think the only other thing that I had an issue with was the scene where they're arsehole, Awesome Guy, and Baseball.
Yeah.
When they're trying to get back to the carriage that everyone's on because they board the train and they're separated by 4 or 5 carriages of zombies.
Yeah.
There's a specific bit where they're wrapping up their arms and stuff so they don't get bitten, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And then arsehole picks up a shield.
Yeah.
And there was this, like, it was cool, and it wasn't too over the top.
Yeah.
Because I was worried that suddenly they were going to bust out, like, amazing fighting moves.
Yeah.
But it did feel a little bit unrealistic, almost.
Yeah. But
and again, it's a zombie film. I get that. People out who are listening are going to be like, well, it's zombies. How can you say unrealistic?
Unrealistic, but, like, I get what you're saying, but also it was a good, like, fun scene.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I liked that scene.
So it's forgivable for that reason. Yeah.
It was just a little bit like...
You would not survive this.
Yeah, and I'd also have liked it if they clarified, like, because Awesome Guy, I had this whole feeling that maybe he was going to be revealed to be, like, part of a gang or something.
Okay.
I don't know why. He was just giving off that vibe that I've seen in, like, some animes and stuff, where, like, there's a guy who turns good who used to be in the mob.
Yeah.
And with his nice clothes and sort of the way he was being with his wife, I could see that as being his story. And if they had said, if he was like, I'm good at fighting people because I used to be in the mob, that scene would have made sense to me. And that would have also been ridiculous and ruined the film, so I also don't want them to do that, but...
Okay. Should we go on to what stuff we liked?
All of it!
Oh, one other, like, slight issue is I did think they kind of... the main, like, message of the film, if you will, I think they really did, like, hammer that home maybe a little tiny bit too much.
Is that the dad learning that he has to... It's not worth sacrificing all your time to spend with your daughter if you're not going to spend it with your daughter?
No.
Okay, what do you think the main message was?
The main message is you have to help others, not just look out for yourself.
Oh, I don't think that was the main message. I think that's how the daughter is.
Yeah, but
He was learning
like
to do that.
repeated so many times throughout, and that's what he learned. That's why.
Yeah, but I think
like,
that was
that's the message.
But I think that was part of the just be a better person. Like, because his whole thing was that's how the like finance world is, right? You don't care about people, and that also meant that he then wasn't spending time with his daughter. So to me, the message was
spend more time with your daughter.
Yeah, don't sacrifice all your time trying to provide for people if it means that you're sacrificing that relationship.
I feel like if that's too like. For my take on it, that would have been too specific a message to be trying to put across. Like,
that's fine. We don't have to agree on the message then.
Yeah, like how many people in the audience are going to be like, "Oh yeah, I should spend more time with my daughter."
I mean, both of us, Liam, don't know that because we're one individual person. So I don't know if either of us can say my message is more valid because.
No, I'm not saying it's more valid. I'm just saying, like, for me, the message of kind of help others and don't put yourself first is more universal.
But did they even learn that message? Because at the end, when they're trying to help people, they get fucked over by everyone.
Yeah, they do, but that doesn't stop them from trying to help people. He still manages to get his daughter and the pregnant wife to safety. And do you think, at the beginning of the film, not a chance he'd have got the pregnant wife to safety? It would have just been the daughter.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Okay. This is the thing, like, I think, like, some people who listen would like it if we dig deeper into, like, meanings and stuff. But we're going hard to do that.
We're going to, Liam, but me and you both know...
It's hard to do that with you.
Listen, me and you both know that the discussion we're going to have about the message of the film is going to end in an argument, right? Because we both spoke before recording, and we know that we're going to argue about when we get to that bit. So what we're doing is we're getting the bits we didn't like and the bits we did like out of the way, because they're the bits we're going to agree on and have friendly discussions about.
Okay.
So let's get those done, and then the last 10 minutes of this fucking show can be me and you shouting at each other.
I thought the acting was good.
Yeah, it's really good. She was a good child actor as well.
She was, which is unusual.
Yeah.
What else?
I like that there wasn't a big the military saved everyone bit, even though there was the military have got this one town at the end.
Yeah, I liked that the end flirted with how... You've seen Night of the Living Dead, right? Night of the Living Dead. So you know how that ends on a very downbeat ending?
Yeah.
I liked how this flirted with that, but didn't copy it.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was literally out loud begging my computer screen and going, please don't do this.
And I think the genius of that is, I think it was a conscious decision to do that because Night of the Living Dead is so iconic and people are so familiar with it, they know that by doing that, you're in a kind of position to think, oh, that could be how this ends.
Yeah, yeah.
So I quite like the way they toyed with you doing that.
Yep, that was good.
Yeah, I liked all of the stuff with the cool guy. I didn't like the dickhead guy. Like, he was just almost too... Like, he didn't feel believably dickheadish to me. It felt like a cartoon villain, almost.
I thought it was believable up to a certain point.
Yeah, and then it just gets silly.
Like, him sealing them out, that made... Like, I could see the argument for that being something that people might do.
Yeah, that like sort of had echoes to The Mist, I thought, but without, like, the religion aspect of it.
Yeah. But then it did get a little bit, like, when he started just shoving people in front of zombies, I was like, this guy doesn't seem like he's evil.
Yeah, and you get what they're doing with that, where it's like, that's to show what the dad would be like if he just carried on putting himself first.
Sure.
Like, that's the dad in, like, 20 years' time, if the daughter hadn't have been there to
the fact that guy's
lesson.
a CEO, yeah.
Yeah, that's like, that was my reading of it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I did just think he was a bit too... It was just too obvious. Like, it wasn't like a textured, layered villain. It was just too one note, I thought.
Did you feel bad for him at the end, though, when he had his little... I was like, at least they tried to give him some humanising aspect at the end.
No, I didn't feel bad. Like, when he was like, I was just scared.
No.
Wait, what bit are you talking about?
Right at the end, when he's turning into a zombie.
Yeah.
He says, please take me to my mother.
Oh, no,
she's waiting for me. So, there was this bit where it's like, okay, the reason he's been so desperate to get home is he just wants his mum.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Also, that's not what I kind of... To me, I thought it was more that, like, when he was turning, he was reverting to a more, like, childlike stage. I didn't think it was just him...
No, because he started giving out his dress and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, I know, but that's, like, something that a child would do.
No, I think that was... I'm pretty positive that's what they were saying, was that he wanted... That was his, like, goal.
Yeah, no, you're probably right, but I'm just saying...
But you didn't read that when you saw it?
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Like, for me, I thought it was part of the zombie process, as it reverted him, like, back to, like, his brain, back to a younger stage.
Yeah, I can see how you read that.
Yeah, it was because his eyes had already turned, and he was doing, like, the twitching and stuff, and it was like, he was just on the cusp of turning full zombie.
Yeah, but we didn't have that with anyone else.
No, but no one else spoke when they were turning either.
We had the girl right at the beginning. The first person to get on the train who's infected.
Yeah, but so we had no one with their eyes already turned talking.
Yeah.
That's what. So to me, like the indication would be the eyes turn, and then like the brain just rapidly kind of unravels and takes you back to a younger state, and then shuts you off as you become
maybe.
Like,
I didn't get that reading from it at all.
That's fair enough. Like because I thought that what they were trying to do is the whole like he was just a coward. Like that's why he did everything out of fear.
Oh yeah, it definitely clarified that he was a coward.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, he was a coward.
Yeah, and so the whole like, I just want to get to my mum, like, didn't have that much of an impact on me.
Fair enough.
I thought it was more sad when like the main character, arsehole guy, was talking on the phone to his mum.
Yeah, that was sad.
Also, I guess that's like a Korean culture thing where people are quite close to their parents still.
I mean, people are close to their parents in England.
Yeah, they are, but it's not the sort of thing that you would often see in a film. Like, if they...
Shaun of the Dead did it.
Yeah. Any others?
I haven't got a long list of English zombie films. I'm not like you, Liam. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of movies.
Yeah, like Shaun of the Dead definitely ticked that off. But I was thinking, like, if they were to remake this in America, I feel like that scene particularly would feel really hammy.
They'd replace the mum in that beginning scene where she's in his apartment.
Yeah.
They'd replace her with a hot French maid.
Yes.
And then he'd call her and she'd go, "I'm turning." That was not French. I think that might have been like German.
I mean, until you did the voice, I was on board with watching that, but then you just put me right off.
Mister, I'm turning.
Anything else you liked?
Did I have something? No. I mean, yeah, there's lots I liked.
Yeah, I'm
nothing.
sure we'll just like cover it organically, or if we haven't covered it, we probably liked it. Safe to assume.
Fuck it, Liam. Let's fall out.
Alright then.
I mean, it's your thing that we're going to fall out about, so say whatever you're going to say.
You're not going to set it up?
No, it's your thing. I don't know what you... Liam believes there's a political message in this film.
I don't know if it's necessarily political.
Only because I've convinced you that maybe you don't know what political means.
Okay, there's two messages.
This is what I mean. I can't explain it because I don't know what you're...
Right, there's two messages. There's one I definitely think is political, in that the film is very... what's the word? Critical of the way that the government handled the foot-in-mouth disease thing. And the scenes that making me think that is the scene where they're on the train and you have the like official broadcast and the guy saying, Don't worry, no one panic, the government have this under control, blah blah blah, as things are like rapidly spiralling out of control.
Okay.
So that to me just seemed very critical of government, because it almost felt comical with him being like, things are under control, when there's a train hurtling along with like a fuck ton of zombies on it. And it's going past like landscapes where shit's on fire, and you've just seen news reports where things are definitely not under control.
Okay.
The next message, so this is something that I said to Kat afterwards, and she was like, I didn't get that at all from this film. I think there is, and I don't know if it's political or what it is, but there's an immigration message in there. And I don't know if it was intended to be in there, but I think regardless with our backgrounds and where we're from, you can read that in this film anyway.
Okay. I can't imagine at the moment where you got that. So explain to me.
Right. Very easy.
Yeah.
We touched on the scene before. It's when the three guys are fighting through the zombies, right?
Okay.
They get to the daughter and the pregnant wife. They rescue them from a toilet cubicle.
Yeah.
They then fight through a fuck ton more zombies to get to the safe carriage, and all of the people in the safe carriage are trying to stop them from getting in. Right?
Oh, you're grasping.
No, let me finish. Let me finish.
Go on.
They finally get in. So, right, here we go. These characters have essentially come from this like fucking awful scenario where people are dying and things are terrible. They get to safety, and all the people in the safe carriage go, "We don't want you here. Get out." And you're telling me you can't read an immigration thing into that?
Oh, no. I can see how you got to an immigration thing from that. I just disagree entirely that is a message that anyone at any point tried to put in this film, or that anyone even considered, or that you even should read into this film.
But that's why I think it's interesting, because even if it wasn't deliberately put in... Yeah, because I don't know, like, South Korea, if they've had any dealings with immigration recently, like with the whole North Korea-South Korea divide. I don't know what their immigration, like, status is. But for us, with all of the stuff that's going on in the world currently, I think it's at least interesting that that is there in this film, and you can take that from it.
Okay, so here's my issue with that then, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to genuinely be reasonable and not just shout at you.
Okay.
Okay, so my issue with that is it feels to me like I can see how you got there,
Yeah.
but at what point, like, because to me the idea of one of those messages that people take from a film, like you've said before, you know, it doesn't matter that the director didn't put stuff in there deliberately if the message is there, which is fair enough. I understand your point, right? There must be a point, because you could look at almost any film and find almost any message, I imagine. You just go, because that to me, that story point is a story point. That makes sense to me. That is a dad trying to get to his daughter. If you didn't have that separation, it doesn't prove to us that he's changed from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that he's learned to love his daughter, right?
Yep.
So that to me is a very core part of the story that would have had to have been there. Like, everyone would have sat down and gone, that's an awesome idea. Split the dad and the daughter up. The dad is trying to get to her.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So at some point, surely you have to go, there is a message that I could read into it there, but that message, but I can't do that to everything, because you could do it to everything.
Yeah, you could.
Because you could easily have gone the bit where they go in the train station, right? They go into the train station, it's all nice and clean, it seems like a really nice place.
Yeah.
So they've immigrated to a nice area, but then when they leave, everyone in that place is a zombie, and they turn around and they are just met with hostility and aggression. So they have to run back to their train and escape from the country.
But, okay.
So surely at that point, and I'm making that up, Liam. I'm bullshitting. I don't think that was a thing at all. No, but it makes sense, and you could fit it in.
But okay, you could, and that's where film becomes interesting to talk about it, when you go into that sort of here's what you could read from it. Not saying that it's deliberately been put there or that you should read it. It's just there is enough there, I think, that you could draw those parallels or comparisons.
So here's my question then. Yeah. When is that not okay? Because otherwise,
when it's not in the film.
No, but that's ridiculous. Because like I'm saying, you could apply that narrative to so many different points in any film. Could. Yeah. So, but then what does that achieve?
Because it's the sort of thing, right? So yeah, if you sat down and you really, really think about it, and you go,
Liam, I didn't think about that one.
I know, but
I went, what was a bit in a film that I could maybe do that with? The train station, okay, and then I just started talking.
Yeah.
So that's not interesting to me, because I just made that up.
Yeah, but that's to you. To other people, so there might be someone else who watched this film and did have that reading from it. So just because it's not interesting to you doesn't mean to them it's not interesting.
No, but that's what I mean. So if anyone can do it to any part of a film, what's the point?
Because it's a discussion that's interesting.
No, because a discussion is I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying.
No, you're saying where's the logical conclusion of this? If you could
No. I agree with you. I can see how people find that interesting, doing stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if someone were to really sit down and do it, they could do it to every little bit in that film. You could literally, I imagine, if you sat down and genuinely, for a day, just went through a film bit by bit, and you were like, I'm going to take each individual section, and I'm going to find this one message that I'm trying to get across, right?
Yeah.
I'm specifically looking for this message. I imagine, if you worked hard enough, you could apply it to almost everything, which at some point makes that redundant, because if you apply that message through everything, you lose the message, because at some point someone that hears you say that is going to go, that's insane, what are you talking about?
It depends who they're talking to, really. If they're talking to someone who's quite open-minded...
I imagine if I sat down with Lee from the movie podcasts that we have been on, right, if I sat down with him and I just went for an hour about one specific message, I'm not saying that I go through and find different messages, I'm saying if I specifically went, every part of this film is immigration, here is why, and I literally broke it scene by scene and went, that first scene, immigration, second scene, immigration, third scene, guess what?
But I
immigration.
Think that would be hard to do. I think a lot harder than you think it would be.
I don't know.
Oh, right,
because I just did it in 1 second.
First scene is the guy who's driving and he's told that he can't go that way or whatever because there's been some sort of outbreak, and you see him hit a deer and then the deer becomes a zombie, right? And they reference foot and mouth disease in that scene.
Yeah, he also...
How are you drawing immigration from it?
Because, Liam, he also has a conversation with the people that are spraying down his car, right?
Yeah.
And he says, again, so to me, the implication of immigration there is perhaps that the border control that we have in place in lots of countries is too strict because it's hurting the working man, represented by that guy who's just trying to do his job. Yeah. He gets stopped every single day at that border. He says, you doing this to me again? They say, yes, we are. So to me, the implication about immigration there is that we should lower border control.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's insane, Liam, because again, I just bullshitted that. So if I can do it that quickly to two separate scenes, what's the fucking point? Because I'm not finding that message. But I'm just making it up.
That's the thing. If you watch it and you genuinely find that message, right? Not just bullshit it, but you watch it and it triggers something in your brain, okay?
Okay.
Because I didn't when I got the message that I got from it, it wasn't after sitting and thinking. It was as the scene was playing out, it just triggered in my brain. I was like, right, there's parallels here. There was no like, let's have a deep, real think about this and see if we can draw anything. It just happened. And I think if you watch a film and it triggers something like that, that is what makes it interesting. Not sitting down and just trying to bullshit it and just make it up. Like, that's how you get through uni and you write essays. But to actually just have it trigger naturally as you're watching is when it becomes interesting.
But okay, so like you said earlier with when I made it up about the train station thing,
Yeah.
you said you could see someone coming up with that by themselves without making it up, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. This is my point. All I'm asking is, I'm not saying that your viewpoint on that is invalid. I'm saying that I didn't see that.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah. My question is, if people... So say, let's take... Everyone in the world watches that film, let's say.
Yes.
Eventually we're going to get enough people finding that message in different scenes by chance, or it just happens, they just happen to think of it as it's happening sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
At some point, does that message... Does it not become invalid? Because surely you're also getting the opposite, where someone's watching a scene and getting the polar opposite message, or whatever.
No, because I think that's when you have a discussion, right?
But then are we just talking about ourselves?
Yeah, but it's very rare, right? Like, if a film sets out to make this a message, okay? Yeah. And you watch a film and you get that message from it, and then someone else watches it and they get the complete opposite message, right?
Okay.
Where does the blame lie in that message? Like, would you put the blame in the film for not conveying the message in a way that two different people couldn't draw the same thing from it? Do you put the blame in the person who got the message that's opposite to the other one? Like, there's no like way of placing blame on this. It is just, if a film does its job well, most people will get the same message from it. If someone gets something different, it's not a criticism of the film necessarily. It is a different way of viewing it. It's viewing it from a different perspective. So that's why I'm saying, when I watched the film, maybe it wasn't intended. Maybe like South Korea doesn't have an immigration thing. But from my history and everything that I'm bringing in my life to when I watch a film, if that's how I read it, that's still interesting. So you've brought everything that's happened to you in your life up until the point when you sat down and watched the film will play into how you read it. So that's why when different people have different readings, it's interesting because it tells you more about the person than it does necessarily about the thing they're talking about.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I'm making sense at this point.
No,
that's
I
how
understand
I feel.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think you've answered my question, which is what I was asking. So
what I think film does well is it opens a door to have discussion. And that's why I like it when we go a little bit deeper into a film, because it's not necessarily about the film, it's about everything that you're bringing when you watch the film.
But what if, Liam, I watch a film, or read a book, or watch a TV show, or play a game, and I don't take any of those messages from it, apart from the ones that later on a director might go, oh, I was trying to say this, and then I like rewatch it and I go, oh yeah, I can see that. What happens then? Because that is how because to me, right, films and games and books are a form of escape from reality.
Yeah.
So I don't watch a scene and go, that's about immigration, because I'm not thinking about our world when I watch that film. I'm so absorbed in their world that I'm taking what their experiences are. Do you see what I mean? I'm not, and that's not me saying that it's wrong to do the other way.
So this was sort of a discussion that we kind of touched on when we were recording with Lee and Jason. So I think that if you want to just watch a film like that, where you don't want to read too deeply into it, that's okay. And there are some films that I think almost demand more critical reading, because there are certain films that you don't get a lot out of it if you just take it at surface level.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But there are some films that are made to be taken at surface, like the big blockbuster like hits and stuff like that. Yeah, there's probably extra stuff going on, but they're equally enjoyable on a surface level. And this is where when we get into world cinema, that it becomes a bit different, because I don't know enough about all of the different politics around the world to be able to say what informed these films as well as I do like American and British films. So like we could watch an American film and we could be like, I understand the sphere that film was made in, right? Because no film is made in a vacuum. It's always informed. No,
100%.
What's going on.
There are things that even
so
without deliberately, someone might be saying something through their film without meaning to.
Yeah, exactly. So I have forgotten what your question is.
Oh, I'm not sure either.
I think you were saying basically, is it okay to not like take a message away from the film? Basically,
yeah.
And I think, it is. There are definitely some films where it's harder to do that. But if you watch Train to Busan, and like you said, you thought your takeaway was spend more time with your daughter, that's in the film.
Well, just I think more family's important, and don't waste your life doing work.
Yeah, and that message is 100% in the film.
Yeah, fair.
But there are definitely other messages. There's probably a whole load going on that me and you aren't picking up.
Yeah, I could see
culture.
that there could be things. Yeah, if you were South Korean and watched that film, you'd go, oh, that's obviously influenced by X, Y, and Z situation.
It was one of my when I was studying film at uni. I did a very short class on South Korean cinema, and it was one of the few world cinema where I actually found it quite interesting with the politics and stuff. We did a lot of European cinema, and I just couldn't get my head around all the different politics and how that informed the films. So it was a bit of a chore. But South Korean was really interesting and engaging, because the thing that's interesting that I think about South Korean cinema is it's relatively new. Like, they were in a huge civil war up until what I want to say the 80s.
Yeah, something like that.
And then they sort of broke free of this dictatorial. How do you say the word?
Dictatorial
regime, and then they just suddenly had this influx of media.
Yeah.
And it massively informed and shaped the way that they started making films from that point on. It would be like if North Korea removed Kim Jong-il, is it? Who's currently
and then then eventually a film thing started.
Yeah, you remove him and put in a more democratic government in place. The films that would start coming out of there would be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, because I see what you're saying, and I agree that I'm not shooting down your immigration thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It 100% could be that South Korea doesn't have any real dealings with immigration, but the fact that because of what we have seen happening in the last year, another thing to think about. If I'd have watched this 10 years ago, before all of that stuff was so in the kind of public sphere, I maybe wouldn't have drawn it from the film.
Yeah,
but it's only because it's kind of fresh in mind with what's happened recently.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's why I like discussing this sort of thing.
That's fair enough. No, I'm glad we discussed it.
Good.
And we didn't fall out as much as I thought we were going to.
No, it's because at the end of the day, it's hard to be this is right and you're wrong when it comes to this sort of thing.
We're better at having a discussion where neither of us can be 100% right.
Yeah.
Because that way, neither of us, we both know we can't argue till we win, which is what we like doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I like to think what I've done is helped broaden your understanding of the world.
You broadened my understanding of why people like you, Lee, Jason, and Mark can will read into those films and find those things. And you've not. Yeah, I'm less
judgmental.
Angry. I'm less angry at you.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I think it's because I assumed you were going to be, do one of your things where you just make a grand sweeping statement and expect everyone to go, "Oh yes, Liam."
Yeah, because that's the thing that I do.
You do like doing that.
I like talking in what's the word? I find it easier to talk in exaggeration.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I find it easier to make points when you're exaggerating.
Yes.
So, Train to Busan. Anything else we want to say about it?
I don't think so. I think people should go and watch it. If people have listened to this, even if you listen to this, I think it's worth going to see.
And let us know what you have taken away from it.
Yeah, if anyone's got opinions on this film, it doesn't have to be about that big discussion we just had. If you've got things you liked and didn't like about the film, let us know, because we always find that interesting.
Well, I would be very curious if we had an American listener who watched it. If obviously, bear in mind this came out last year. If there were any way to read a kind of Trump message out of it, because it 100% wouldn't have been in there deliberately, but it could be there could be a way of reading it in that sort of way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I think one of the things that's difficult sometimes with film is if you watch a film from the 70s, it's hard to apply modern day thoughts to it, if that makes sense. You couldn't watch a film from the 70s and go, oh, it's saying this about our government today.
Yeah.
But there could definitely be parallels.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Out of 5?
I think 4?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 5.
Fair enough.
Just because I liked it, but it didn't blow me away or anything.
I cried like a baby, so I'm giving it 4. Did I say 4? Yeah, 4.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It's more than I usually do. It surprised me how much I cried.
Okay.
It's very emotional, Liam.
Is it though?
It was.
It was, but it was.
He learnt a lesson, and then he didn't get to spend any more time with his daughter after he learnt it.
So, did he really learn a lesson then?
Yeah, because he learnt that he sacrificed himself.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't have been emotional if he'd like had a scene at the end where he was like, I have learnt my lesson, and then the zombie got on and he threw his daughter into it and went, actually, fuck it.
No, he threw the pregnant lady into it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I honestly was half expecting, throughout the film, for her to give birth to a zombie baby.
Anytime someone is pregnant in a zombie thing,
Yep.
I now expect that. And is that because of the remake of Dawn of the Dead did that?
I haven't seen the remake of Dawn
Oh,
of the
really?
Dead. Yep.
Well, fair enough. I'm sure there are other things that have done the lady is pregnant, baby is a zombie.
Brain Dead, I want to say.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Peter Jackson film. Worth watching.
Fair enough. But I think that's a good twist, but once you've then seen it, it makes you aware of it. So anytime you see a pregnant woman in a zombie film, you're like, oh no!
Yeah, exactly. I'm pleased they didn't do it, but equally... Okay, here's a question then. Or maybe not a question. Another theme to think about that you could read into this film is the patriarchy collapsing and the matriarchy surviving.
Because the two women are the only two that survived, sort of thing.
Yeah, but you would also have to kind of ignore all of the military men that are around. But,
that's true.
But you could also look at it as like, well, the patriarchal society has definitely collapsed at least.
There was a moment... Sorry, I'm moving away from your topic.
That's
your interesting
fine.
Topic. There was this moment, like, I get with a lot of these films, as it's ending, I think, like, oh, well, what is the next step in this? Because you've got something like 28 Days Later, right?
Yeah.
Where they meet up with the military people.
Yeah.
And then that turns out to not be the best thing in the world. Because it all sort of goes tits up, right? I think.
Yeah, the film gets really boring at that point as well.
It does get really boring, but it's also like, you know, a lot of bad stuff happens.
Yeah. It's that like tried and tested thing where it's like, is the monster really the monster or is man the monster? Yeah.
So like when the film ends, it's clearly trying to give us like this happy, not happy, but like, oh, the girl survived and the pregnant mum survived. Maybe there's hope, sort of thing.
But if you read it from like a 28 Days Later perspective, they're
I was like,
going to get raped.
Yeah, I was like, oh Jesus, well, is Busan actually going to be this lovely haven?
Yeah.
Also, the number of films that have been like, there's one last safe haven, and then they get there, and then it just all goes to shit.
Well, that's another thing that's interesting, I think, about horror films is, so just to like put this in a realm that I'm a bit like I have some information about, so I can actually talk about.
Yeah, go for it.
If you look at the slasher films with the final girl, right?
Yeah.
The whole final girl trope is this like virginal woman will beat the horrible masked killer. Yeah. But what you don't often see, or sometimes you do see, is the sequel where that like very like female empowering thing has absolutely destroyed her, like emotionally, mentally. Like they're normally, when the sequel starts in some sort of catatonic state, they normally don't survive the sequel, and then you've got to go like, well, how empowering of a message is this? Like,
they're like, yeah, you can do it, but just don't look afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you actually start taking these things beyond the film to what happens next, often goes bad.
Yeah.
And then, like, again, sticking with 28 Days Later, then look at how 28 Weeks Later plays out.
Yeah, where it's effectively like the whole world, or the whole of England's just gone to shit.
Yeah, and they try to rebuild, and that does not work.
Yeah. And anything else, Liam? Are we done?
I think we're done.
Fair enough. Well, what are we going to be doing, Liam? It's the big reveal.
So this was a suggestion, wasn't it?
It was suggested by our very own Tom Hogan. Do you want to say what it is?
Yeah, I'm a little bit excited for it.
Oh, I know you are. I don't think you should be.
I know I shouldn't be. That's the thing. Like, I 100% shouldn't be, but maybe I should be.
Okay, well, listeners, I don't know if you've heard of a little group called Asylum Cinema, but they make shit films, and we're going to watch one of them.
Because Tom told us to.
So we will be watching, for the next episode, I nearly said High School Musical, Sunday School Musical.
Came out in 2008. The thing is, it's only an hour and 33 minutes.
Yeah, but it's either going to be hilariously bad or just painful.
If I was a betting man,
yeah,
I would bet on painful, because I've just seen a user review on IMDb and it says, for only having 14 days to shoot the scenes and all, this is an amazing movie. Now, musicals generally require a fair bit of time to go into like producing them, like choreography, sets, all that. Like,
yeah,
14 days is barely getting the like cast on the same sort of page with the dance moves.
Yep. So painful we're going for then, yeah?
That would be my guess, yeah. So this is like, normally I say, like we like to say at the end, if you've seen this, tweet or email us. I don't think we're going to have anyone that has seen this. And
I don't even think Tom's seen it.
If anyone has seen it, just let us know how bad it's going to be.
All right, well, maybe we can expand it then, because I agree with you. I don't think anyone will have watched this one.
Yeah.
But I bet there are a few listeners out there who have watched other Asylum Cinema films.
Okay, yeah.
Because I personally have seen Transmorphers.
Yeah.
And I've watched the trailers to pretty much every other film they've ever made.
Yeah.
So if you've watched another Asylum Cinema film, let us know whether you love them or hate them. Because at the moment I love them, because I think it's ridiculous what they do.
Yeah. They have this, like, there's this trend with film at the moment where it's like, oh, it's so bad, it's good. Okay? And I get that with some films.
Yeah.
But I've watched one other Asylum film, and it was just bad. Like, sometimes films are just bad.
I agree. And I don't think Asylum Cinema are trying to be so bad they're good.
No, I think they're just trying to make money.
Yeah, they are.
Which,
100%.
to be fair, is what everyone is trying to do when it comes to film. But
yeah, but these guys are particularly scummy about it, in my opinion.
Yes.
So just if you've got opinions, listeners, let us know.
They won't.
They won't. If they did want to, though, Liam.
Yeah. And also, like, I would like to just thank the ones that did get in touch with recommendations. And if anyone has other recommendations, can I just say, it would be really nice if, when you recommend something, it is something that you have at least seen before.
No, not necessarily.
Because I would like to know, like, if someone's going to recommend something, I want to know why they've recommended it.
I don't care.
So I also want Tom to message us with why he's recommended this. So
Tom doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to force him to watch this film with me.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. How do they get in touch with us? It's real simple, Jack. They can tweet us at Nerd on Nerd. Go to twitter.com, look for Nerd on Nerd, all one word, and you'll find us, and then you can just tweet us and stuff, and we can interact. It's amazing. It's great technology.
Yeah.
Go to facebook.com, /Nerd on Nerd pod, all one word.
Cool.
You could go to YouTube. If you just search Nerd on Nerd, all one word, we come up. Are you noticing a trend yet? If you want to email us, nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com. You could leave us a review and a rating on iTunes. We would really appreciate that. It would make our day, probably. 5 stars would be nice. If you're going to leave a shitty review, it might not make our day, to be honest.
Just email it to us.
Yes.
If you hate us, email us.
And that is it.
Any final thoughts, Liam?
Yeah, I would like to finally think that this episode has gone massively over what we literally 2 hours ago discussed not doing.
Bye.
Bye.